Hello, my Libra Collective. This is Zaida Velgara from Becoming I Am, here to give your message for January, February, March of 2026. We are actually coming into this new year. So, starting off, if you didn't see your reading for the month of December, I recommend you looking into that. I talked to you about Capricorn season that started the 21st and how that's going to affect all of us, right? But biggest takeaway is that next year is the year number one. It's the beginning of a 9-year cycle. So having that mindset of what it is that you would like for your future is very important, because this is when we plant the seed to create that person. And so here we see that we have the blue card that says isolation. This is very interesting because it feels very much like like an energy of people not seeing the world like you do, and I don't understand why I see that. One second. I had to look into the card a little bit more, and for some strange reason, it doesn't feel right to me like what it says, because it feels like feeling alone, isolated, because you don't see the world the same way anymore, or because the people around you can't see the world the way that you do. I'm going to get more information on that. I have more oracle cards that are here. Wow, Scorpio investigation. And Scorpio for me is like magic, or the occult, or the hidden, the mysterious. Hold on. I only pulled one of these for the other cards, but they told me two more. See? And then we have opposition, which is confrontation. And after that, we have ninth house exploration. And that's a closet. A nice fancy suit in the closet. Ooh, that affected my throat. And this is throat chakra, or depending on how you look at it, also can be like your third eye. Oh my God, I should have pulled it when I saw it the first time. I saw the mirror. I had this recently for another reading, and what it talks about is, and I think the reading was in Spanish, it talked about like how this is a shift of your reality. It talks about how the mirror, you're going to find out that the mirror is both a strong sense of magic, but it's also a strong sense of disillusionment, or a strong sense of breaking magic, like dark magic. Because in looking in the mirror, you don't only see the good things in yourself, but you see all the dark things in yourself, and you start noticing how the external world is a reflection of yourself, and everything that you've been fighting with, and every person that's walked into your life that you've had problems with or arguments with has always had to do with something inside of you. And it's all about the shadow work. So next year feels very shadowy, and it's like the ninth house of exploration is talking about that energy of having to go deeper into yourself, into your magic of who you really are, and confront those things that you didn't want to see about yourself. Libra. See? And then we have disillusion. Dissolution. So it feels like It feels like going deep into yourself and breaking the facade. One second. See, I'm not losing my mind. So whenever I say, wait a second, I go online and I try to define certain words for myself. And when I see this dissolution, right? It's dissolution, okay? Not disillusion, right? Um, and dissolution in alchemy, which these are the alchemy decks, it says is the second major operation from calcification. So, like you were turning into a pillar of salt, right? When people look into the past, they get stuck in the past and they become stagnant and they become that pillar of salt. And that's that story where Jesus in the book of Revelation says, don't become Lot's wife, right? So don't turn around into your past. Don't linger in the past forever and don't turn into a pillar of salt. And then here it's saying that dissolution is the second major operation following calcification. It dissolves the solution of the ashes from calcification in water. So this means that 2025, it's like you went through a burning process. You burned away the old person that you were. You kind of created a major tower moment for yourself. You broke yourself down. And right now, you're adding water into the solution. So you're adding your new spirit, the new words, the new emotions that you would like to visualize. And this is going into your closet and kind of seeing that. And this is symbolizing a deep immersion into the unconscious mind. And so it says this stage is crucial as it allows the ego to dissolve, revealing hidden aspects of self, including emotions and traumas that have been repressed. And so this is interesting, Libra, because what I'm feeling 2026 is going to be for you is kind of like you're going to go into your closet. And now it reminds me of that song of Eminem, Sorry Mama, where he goes, I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry, but tonight I'm cleaning out my closet. And this feels like you really going in your closet, going inside yourself. And that's Scorpio energy because that's your deepest magic. It's the deepest emotions you have inside yourself. It's the only way to actually reveal all the potential that you have inside of yourself when it comes to magic is to unbox and heal all the aspects of yourself. And this feels like really getting into yourself, confronting the skeletons in your closet, exploring the truth about it, looking really hard in the mirror and how certain people that were hurting you, I'm hearing raping you energetically, right? Taking from you, making you less than, are a mirror of something that was hidden inside of you. And now that you have, like, I want to say, burned down all the foundations that made you the person that you were, now you're adding your emotions and your spirit back into it. And in doing so, you're coming back to life. This is like the phoenix rising, right? Where from the ashes, the phoenix bird creates his egg and then creates himself. That's what this feels like. This is when you're creating yourself again from those ashes. Um, I feel cold chills, y'all. It feels like a really interesting year, but I don't think it's going to be an easy year because you're going to be confronting, I think, some deep childhood wounds that you've literally made yourself mentally blind to. Like you will refuse to see it because it hurts so much. So you just blocked it out of your mind and then it's going to start coming through again. All right. So let's see January. And I'm just going to go through the months with some tarot. I'm not going to be pulling up the cards because I don't need the video flagged. I'll just put it on the side here. You can kind of see them in an angle. And then I'm going to do the pyramid first before we start. Okay, this tarot deck of the Santa Muerte has three world cards. And the one that you got here is the one that speaks about the dead. The end of a cycle with the dead. So 21, the world card. 4, the Emperor. 20, the Judgment card is coming out here. This is making me feel like you're waking up from a state of death. The Two of Cups is here. The Queen of Wands. I mean, the Queen of Swords, sorry. These are in Spanish. I'm translating. And then the Fool card. That's interesting because we have 4 major arcanas and 6 cards. And I feel like this is a you thing right here in the middle, but this and this is what's happening. And with so many major arcanas, this is something you're not going to be able to avoid because this is spirit doing it to you. In the bottom of the deck, we have the Sun card. Shut up. It's yet another major arcana. Shut up. And then we have 13 Death card, and then Justice. 3 major arcanas, and then the Moon. 4 major arcanas in the bottom in a row. This is giving me chills. And then right after that is Curiosity, Exploration, the 3 of Wands, which goes back to this card of the 9th house in exploration. This is giving me a lot of chills, you guys. This is kind of freaky to me because I have 5 placements in Libra. My birth chart is kind of weird. Most of my placements, I mean, I know I'm a Sagittarius, but most of my placements are in Libra and Scorpio. So what I'm seeing here is that you're being risen from the dead. And I know that sounds really weird, but if you were taking this in the context, let's say, of the movie The Matrix, right? Or let's just keep it with The Matrix. As long as you're part of the Matrix, and as long as you're living this reality the way that it wants you to, and you're following the rules, and you're repeating the same cycles as your parents and their parents and their parents, this is Lot's wife. This is you just continuing the cycle of death, of death, of death, of death, right? And with the Emperor here, it's kind of like this year is you're calling your soul back from the dead, and you're awakening it with the Judgment card. And it all happens because of some new connection that's entering your life. And this new connection is with a female energy that is extremely intelligent. And I believe you might have had this female energy in another life. This is someone with a lot of knowledge. And you're moving in a new direction in your life. There's going to be parts during this journey of January that you're going to want to turn around, but you're going to ignore those voices because you know that that's the old version of you you're letting go of. God, this room is getting cold. Because it's time for you to see that you've been living in this energy of death for a long period of time, and you have to balance things out by seeing what was unseen by you. Oh my God, there is definitely some kind of journey that you're taking in 2026, and I'm seeing already starting it in January, where you're going to see some kind of truth that you've been, I want to say, lying to yourself about. And I keep hearing the SA in my head. That makes me feel really freaked out, you guys. So I don't know what that's all about, but there's something really interesting here that's going to be revealed in January, where you're going to be delving really deep in it. But it was astrologically assigned to you to do right now. Yeah, that's what they said. Yeah. That's very weird, but I'm not going to question it. That's what's coming through. Okay, let's go with February. Emperor, again, that's the second month where you're standing in that Emperor energy. You should check what your personal year number is. Okay. If you end up getting a 4, this message is strongly for you. If your personal year number this year is a number 4. Okay. Google, how do you figure out your personal year number so that you can know what I'm talking about. Ace of Wands. Did you see that? They kind of start twirling over and then they fall back in. Ooh, February seems strange. We have the Two of Wands, so there is a new road opening up for you. And we're starting the whole thing by seeing you in this energy of the Emperor, which we saw you in January, where you're coming back from the dead because you've decided to come call back yourself from the dead. And you're taking new actions with the Ace of Pentacles. I mean, the Ace of Wands, because you're moving towards an energy where you feel more stable, especially financially. King of Pentacles. Now, you can be a man, but I think that the majority of the message that I'm hearing here is that you're activating your divine masculine energy inside of you. Everybody has it. And so this is not a year of like creation where you're nurturing and you're like taking care of an idea and starting to create it. This is more of the action plan taking effect where you're actually doing what you have to do to make it happen for you, right? And that's what I'm seeing here. But before that happens, again, here goes the middle. And the middle, we have the death, 10 of wands, the ending of a cycle. And this ending of a cycle is with a high priestess in reverse. And so I feel like done is the time where you're learning, but you say nothing. Does that make sense? Because I think this has more to do with you than somebody external. And what I'm seeing here is this energy where there was a long time where you were planning ideas. I'm feeling like 2025 for you guys had a lot to do with number 3. So the Empress energy, where you guys were like coming up with plans, making ideas, and starting like a creation process, right? And I feel like starting in February, the death of the high priestess in reverse feels like you're ending a cycle, or you're putting to end this cycle of keeping your mouth shut and like not saying something that you have to say, or not revealing what you're going to do next or whatever. It just feels like revealing the truth on a situation. And that brings you into the Queen of Pentacles. So we have the King and the Queen of Pentacles here. So it feels like you're making decisions that are practical, that are sustainable, and that are like based on facts for you. This feels January and February definitely for you. My Libras feel like, even though you're an air sign, feel very grounded, right? I would say in this energy, you feel very Tauran, where you're grounded, you're stable, you're moving forward in a plan or idea. That's kind of like what I'm feeling like if you were a Taurus instead of Libra, because you're grounded. And this is the plan, and this is how we're going to execute it, and this is how we're going to move forward. And now you're revealing these plans that you have. And this is balancing your masculine feminine energy when it comes to creating things that are sustainable in your life, especially with your material things. I feel like February feels more abundant in your material world. If there was lack, if there was limitations, if there was restrictions, that road is opening and you're moving forward in it because you were stuck. On a side note, I do feel like I am seeing here that part of the stagnation might have been due to some kind of interference um, by somebody that had a lot of envy and spite towards you. Um, Unfortunately, some people, they're in your lives and they play the role of your friend or your guide or your helper or whatever, but these people are actually hoping to trap you. I have the of swords in the bottom, and then the bottom of the deck had the hangman. So definitely they wanted to keep you stuck in the same storyline, in the same situation. And so when you know somebody is envious of you, it's like, or when they're sending this evil eye energy from you, it's one of those things where they want to copy everything you do. They want to imitate you, even though they are not you. They're trying to imitate you, or the things that they say are meant to trigger a wound that you carry. And so it's kind of like you're no longer listening to that energy anymore. And it can express itself like a person. So just letting you know that. Now we're going to look into March. Page of Cups starting out the whole thing. Three of Cups. Nine of Wands. That's interesting. Eight of Wands. Empress. We've had the Emperor in January and February. Now we see the Empress. Eight of Swords. Ace of Wands came out again. That's interesting because March feels like finally moving. And what I'm seeing here is that somebody's going to come with you with a surprise offer. It's kind of like, come and hang out with us. Come to this party with us. Come and why don't you just collaborate with us? You know, like one of those things, one of those offers that you know that if you take it, you're actually selling yourself out in a way. You're not going to get any benefit from it. And you look at the offer with this face of, I know where this is going. I'm not interested. And that's the Nine of Wands. So it kind of feels like, yeah, no, I'm not playing this game with you. And then we have this energy of the Eight of Wands, which means you decide to move in the direction that's going to give you a lot of abundance. And that's the Queen of the Empress card, which in January looked like the Queen of Swords. So somebody that's really smart, that has wisdom that they can impart in you, somebody that can help you grow and evolve. Like you're in this energy of, no, I don't want to be around people or situations that is the same shit different day. I want to be around people in situations that'll help me grow, that will help me expand, that will help me change, that will help me become the person I'm supposed to be instead of the same shit every day, right? And that's the saying that we have like in Latin America that says, Dime con quién ando y te diré quién eres, which is tell me who you walk with and I will tell you who you are. Unfortunately, you know, there is a reason why when a person starts elevating in education and you start elevating in intuition and intelligence, right? Based on what you went to school for and whatever, you do drift from the people of the past. And you drift from them not because you think you're better, but because the envy that they have actually hurts you more than it helps you. And it disillusions you all the time, every time these people reveal themselves to you. So it's better just to walk away and accept that it's just not going to happen, right? And I'm feeling that's what's going to happen. And then we have the energy of the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords is like, I made the choice already. I made it in January. Actually, I think you made it in 2025, but January, you've already vocalized it. I'm leaving. I'm leaving to something that's going to fill my cup. I'm leaving to something that's more stable. I'm leaving to something that I can get some benefit of. And you're taking action on it with the Wands. So, look, and the action is going to bring you victory because we have of the Six of Wands. And then we have the Old Maid with the Star card. So that's telling me that that wish that you're making, moving in this new direction, is going to last you till old age. I just think that maybe one of the things that you're going to be revealed is the way that you have self-sabotaged due to accepting connections with people that are from your past because I don't know, there was a part of you that kind of wished that it would have been better with them or that Like they are something that they're really not. I don't, that's the way I'm thinking. Anyways, just ended this whole thing. I'm not sure why I'm putting these away already, but to end this whole thing, I'm going to pull an affirmation card. I used to do these all the time and I stopped for a long time. But I feel like I wanted them back. I'm going to read, there's two sides to these cards, mind you. I'm going to read both sides. I'll put them up in the screen so that you can see the additional message that wants to come through for you. It says, I am forgiving and my compassion replaces anger with love. And in the back, it says, the quality of your life comes down to the thoughts that you think at a regular basis. Kerwin Ray. So definitely, I feel like 2026, January, February, March for you, is a change of mind. Like the way that you perceive people, the way that you perceive situations, you're going to see how people are a mirror of yourself. And then you're just going to course correct, change, because you don't have time anymore to waste on, I want to say, bullshit. So that's very interesting. I hope that takes care of you and helps you for 2026.